Good evening and welcome to the 5 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman.
And I'm Nora Hart. First at 5, we have been hearing stories of local people who've been arrested and detained by ICE officials.
And tonight we hear from a young man who says that he spent 2 weeks detained despite not being the intended target of immigration enforcement.
A Fox 12 investigative reporter Adrian Thomas joins us now with the story. Adrian?
Well, Nora, Pete, Napoleon Magana came to the U.S. 2 years ago seeking asylum with his older sister after spending 2 weeks in what he says was a confusing and scary experience in ICE detention. Magana is now sharing his story and what it was like to be detained by immigration enforcement and not knowing his fate. A viral video from October shows federal agents breaking into the bedroom of a Gresham apartment and arresting 2 young men. One of them, 20-year-old Napoleon Magana. After being detained, he would spend just over 2 weeks at the large ICE detention center in Tacoma, Washington. We sat down with him after his release to hear about his experience. I was asking them if they could let me stay because I hadn't done anything wrong, he says. I don't have a record, I don't have anything. I haven't done anything bad basically since I've been here. But they didn't care. I told them that I had asylum and had a case with a court date, but they didn't care. They took me away. At the time of Napoleon's arrest, a statement from ICE said agents were targeting a criminal undocumented immigrant from Mexico in Gresham. And while pursuing him on October 15th, the suspect fled into an apartment. An ICE spokesperson said after the suspect refused to surrender, law enforcement entered the apartment and detained 2 men from Mexico, Magana and his mother's partner, Arturo Cabrera. Only in the video shot by Napoleon's sister, you can hear agents looking for a man named Israel, who wasn't there.
Hey, so that guy's Napoleon and Arturo, not Israel.
I think they just got the wrong apartment, or I don't know what happened, Napoleon says. The problem is they didn't need to be here and do what they did because we had nothing to do with it. We don't have any issues. We don't even know the person they were supposedly looking for. Magana says upon his arrival at the large ICE detention facility in Tacoma, Washington, he noticed the facility was crowded, up to 70 people per cell, with many detainees like him who have pending immigration cases and no criminal records. They leave you there in the cell and you can ask questions, but the guards won't listen to you. Sometimes they don't even look at you, he says. A lot of things went through my head. I didn't know what they were going to do with me because they don't tell you anything. We reached out to ICE for an update on Napoleon's current immigration case and a response to his concerns regarding the ICE facility in Tacoma being crowded and confusing to navigate. A spokesperson sent us a statement which reads in part, quote, Napoleon Andres Magana will still be held accountable for being in the United States illegally and report to ICE's Alternatives to Detention Intensive Supervision Appearance Program. The program effectively increases court appearance rates and compliance with release conditions. It also helps participants meet their basic needs and understand their immigration obligations. And in response to the apparent crowded conditions in Tacoma, the spokesperson also said in part, quote, ICE's enhanced enforcement operations and routine daily operations have resulted in a significant number of arrests of criminal aliens requiring greater detention capacity. As ICE arrests and removes criminal illegal aliens and public safety threats from the U.S., the agency has worked diligently to obtain greater necessary detention space while avoiding overcrowding. Since his arrival in the U.S. 2 years ago, Magana says he has just been working and spending time with his family. His next court date is set for February. Towards the end of our interview, he had this to say to ICE and other Department of Homeland Security officials. For the ICE officers, you can't treat people like that. Most of the people who come to this country, we come to work, he says. Don't split families apart, because it's also terrible to have a family member in a detention center because you have no idea what's going to happen to them. Now, ICE's statement on Magana's case also emphasized that immigrants like Magana who have temporary status or authorization to work in the United States are not granted any form of lawful status and can be placed in immigration proceedings or detained at any time. Arturo Cabrera, who was also detained with Napoleon Magana, has also been released from ICE detention and has pending immigration court proceedings. Live in studio, Adrian Thomas, Fox 12 Oregon.